Alright ladies, today I want to introduce you to a concept that most women have never been taught, and that is that the more you disappoint a man, the deeper he'll love you. Now before you click off thinking this is another video about playing games or manipulating men, let me clarify that I'm not telling you to be cold or to punish men, and I'm definitely not telling you to be emotionally unavailable. What I mean is this: the way that a man falls deeper in love with you is when you stop abandoning yourself to keep him comfortable and when you stop reshaping your life around his needs. So the real question becomes, how do you disappoint a man without becoming distant? And why does holding your ground actually deepen attraction instead of pushing him away? If you're new to the channel, my name is Ismael Gomez. I'm a coach, writer, and speaker, and today I'm going to show you why disappointing a man when it comes from self-respect instead of manipulation is one of the healthiest and most attractive things that you can do. Okay, so let's begin. He bonds through disappointment. Let me give you a perspective that most women never think about, and that is that every time that you avoid disappointing a man, you hide a piece of yourself from him. And at first, that feels smart. You laugh at things that didn't even feel funny to you, and he does something that truly bothers you, and instead of addressing it honestly, you bring it up so gently that he never actually feels how much it affected you. And what's happening underneath all of this is that he's not actually getting to know you. He's learning to interact with a version of you that performs to keep the peace. Because intimacy is not built through constant agreement. It is built when two people slowly reveal who they actually are. Your preferences, your standards, that's what's going to create emotional depth. And this is where so many of you accidentally disappear inside relationships. You become so focused on being chosen that you stop showing the parts of yourself that make you authentic. But a man cannot deeply connect to a woman that he never fully meets. He can enjoy you, he can even stay with you for years, but deep attachment only comes from emotional honesty. The moment you stop organizing yourself around keeping him comfortable, when you don't hide those pieces of yourself that you want to express, what you want in love, what you want in dating, in relationships, he's going to finally get to experience your actual presence. Repair is the real intimacy. So one of my clients just got engaged. Shout out to you, Rafat. And as we were all celebrating, I told her something that I want all of you to hear today. I said that the most important skill that she's going to need from now on is not communication, it's not romance, is the ability to repair. Because any relationship that you have with a man is going to live or die on what happens after a disappointment. And it's not the disappointment itself, is the return. When he pulls back and you feel the distance and there's silence between you two, and then one of you turns, towards the other first, and he softens, you soften, and you find each other again. And that moment of return is where the real bond forms. Not in the easy days, not in the romantic dinners, in the repair. But what I see quite often happen with women is that you never get to experience this because you never even let the disappointment happen in the first place. You're always trying to keep everything stable, overthinking what to say because you don't want to disrupt the peace and you want to keep the attraction, and you over-explaining your feelings until the feeling dissipates. Because what's happening here is that the relationship is staying at the surface level. Okay, so you tell yourself that you're keeping the peace, but what you're actually doing is keeping the connection shallow because there's nothing to repair when nothing was ever real enough to break in the first place. And this is the part that most of you don't see until you're already deep in it. So you can read every book, you can watch all of my videos, you can know exactly what you're supposed to do. But in the moment that you feel that the connection is struggling, that he's pulling back or he's not responding to you, when your chest tightens and your mind starts spinning, this is when knowing what to do and actually doing it are two completely different things. Disappointment reveals character. Every time that you disappoint a man, you create a moment where his character gets revealed. You actually give him an opportunity to show up, to handle his own feelings without dumping them on you, to choose his maturity over his ego in real time. And whether he knows it or not, these moments are exactly what make him grow into the kind of man that you actually want. And I want you to think about it this way, okay? If you never disappoint him, he never has to develop emotional skills. He never has to learn how to sit with with the discomfort. He stays at the same emotional level that he was when you first met him, maybe even slides backwards, because nothing in your relationship is asking him to grow. And I'm always telling you this, and I'm going to repeat myself again, that a man bonds deeper with a woman who challenges him, always with balance, right? You don't want to go over the limits and become a burden, but the woman who keeps him comfortable, the woman who never asks anything of him, that woman is replaceable. When he senses that both of you are growing together, that you're helping him reinforce all the right behaviors, that everything in his life is expanding, then he's never going to want to let go of that connection. Don't trade one performance for another. Before you walk away from this video, I need to give you a warning, because I've seen so many women take this lesson and turn it into a new problem. Some of you listen to all of this and you decide that the answer is to become distant, disagreeable on purpose, and you turn warmth into weakness in your own mind. And you think that this new version of yourself is finally healthy, but it is not. It is just people-pleasing in reverse. And this is what nobody tells you about swinging to the extreme, because the reactive woman closes off her capacity to receive. So now for you, receiving feels like a weakness. So you stop letting him plan things for you, and you stop letting him help you when you truly need help. And guess what? Without those moments, his attachment is never going to deepen. You cannot be loved deeply if you refuse to receive. Listen to that again. You cannot be loved deeply if you refuse to receive. And receiving requires you to drop the performance of not needing anything. The version of you that a man feels connected to is the woman who's honest about what she actually wants. Sometimes that's saying, no, that you don't want anything. Sometimes that's saying that yes, that you genuinely want what he's offering, but both come from the same place. A woman in contact with herself, not a woman performing a role. You don't always have to speak your mind, okay? And this is something that always confuses my clients when I'm teaching them, like showing what you want through actions, okay, through your boundaries, through your behavior is more powerful than you making a whole list and telling him exactly what you want. So as you walk away from this video today, I really want you to understand that the question is not, did I disappoint him enough today? The real question is, did your answers and your behavior actually matched what you wanted and what you actually felt? Alright ladies, so to end this video, let me clarify again that you don't disappoint a man to make him love you more. You disappoint him because you love yourself enough to not disappear inside the connection. And his deeper love is just what happens as a consequence. Think of it like a dance, okay? This is the last analogy that I'm going to give you. When you dance with a man, do you dance to how you feel the music and your own rhythm, or do you dance to how he tells you to move? And yes, you're going to step on each other a couple of times, okay? But that's how you learn each other's rhythms until you reach synchronicity. And the point is that you always let the music guide you, not the way that he wants you to move. Anyways, thank you for subscribing to my channel. And remember that for your relationships to change, you need to change, okay? Have a beautiful day.